This episode is all about getting honest because if you are feeling tired, if you're feeling burnt out, or if you're wondering why your sales have not scaled, I see you and we are going to fix that. So stick with me till the end because I am going to share the number one mindset shift that separates makers who break through and find wholesale success from the ones who stay stuck second guessing their business growth. Hi, friends. Welcome to She Sells Differently, the show for aspiring women entrepreneurs looking to overcome the fear of selling and grow thriving businesses from a place of authenticity and confidence. I'm Andy Hart, and it wasn't all that long ago that I was a sales executive for a Fortune 500 company. But I knew in my heart that I was called to use my gifts for something more, something different. That's exactly why I created the She Sells Differently podcast. Each episode is going to deliver you business strategies, tools, and mindset shifts to help set you and your brand apart from our culture's expectations. It's time to elevate your sales and build a profitable, sustainable business you're proud of, one built on integrity, grace, and humility. It's time to learn how to sell differently. Let me guess, you're hauling your products to markets every weekend, you're packing orders at night, you're trying to keep up with those DMs, the Etsy notifications, you're posting on social media, hoping today is the day that you finally get noticed. And you're doing all the right things. You're hustling, you're talented, your product is so good, but you're stuck in a loop. It's a constant grind and you're exhausted. You've built a job, not a business. And the worst part, you know that it's not sustainable. Here's the reality that most people won't tell you. Pop-up markets, responding to all of those messages and those handmade order flows are not designed to scale. It starts off fun, but it burns you out so fast. They're designed to keep you busy, not to build actual freedom. Now, instead, I want you to imagine this. You make one sale and a boutique orders 50 candles at once. You ship one order. Done. You didn't stand behind a booth at a market. You didn't post every day to get that one online sale. You didn't beg for attention, but you made one move and it brought in real revenue. That, my friend, is wholesale. And it's wildly underused by small product brands because most people think it's only for big businesses. If I wholesale, I'll lose too much profit. It's way too complicated. And I am here to tell you that that is just not true. Wholesale is simple when you follow a repeatable process. It's profitable when you know how to price right. And it is doable even if you're a one-woman show right now. How do I know this? Because I walked the road myself. If you're brand new to my world, hi, my name is Andy Hart, and I am the owner of Hart Design Co., a candle company. I started in my kitchen in 2001 and scaled from 0 to 120 boutiques in 3 months, all while still working my corporate job. Yes, that was a wild ride and a story I will share soon if you stick around. But what I will tell you is that my candle company has only grown from there, and it allowed me to say peace out to my corporate career of 17 years in 2023. And since then, I have helped product makers across industries get their first and 100th boutique order. And you can absolutely do that too. And let me tell you about Lori. Lori had been selling handmade candles at farmers markets for over 2 years, and she was good at it, but she was tired. But she followed the simple process that I teach. And within 3 weeks, she landed a $1,200 wholesale order from a single boutique. That one wholesale order made her more than in 3 weekends of markets, and she didn't even have to leave her house. Lori didn't feel ready. She thought wholesale was way too advanced, but she did it anyway. And now she is in multiple stores and she's growing. And that could be your story too. So I want you to really ask yourself something. How long are you willing to feel stuck? How long are you willing to do the exact same thing and expect different results? Maybe you've considered wholesale and you've been thinking about it for longer than you want to admit, and you just have not taken action. And a lot of that is you have just not been shown the process of exactly what to do step by step and without the overwhelm. And so that is exactly why I created my Retail Ready Wholesale Challenge. It's brand new. If you have done a challenge with me in the past, then you'll want to take this one because it is all new and it's a 5-day private podcast experience that walks you through the exact wholesale framework I used to take my candle business from 0 to 120 boutiques in 90 days. It's 5 days. It's 20 to 30 minutes a day, all on a private podcast with helpful worksheets to get you to take action. And by the end of day 3, not day 5, but day 3, you will have sent real pitch emails to real retailers, not drafted, but you're actually going to send them. So if you're curious, here's what we are going to be covering together inside this challenge. Day 1, we start with a thing that most product brands and most makers skip entirely. And it's the reason that most wholesale pitches get ignored before they're ever even read. And so I am going to teach you to craft that one sentence that makes a retail buyer stop and say, "Tell me more." And it becomes the foundation for everything else that we do in days 2 through 5. Now, on day 2, I'm going to teach you how to find 20 aligned retailers in under an hour using my 3-source method. Now, this is not just going to be a random list. These are going to be a curated list of boutiques that are already carrying products like yours for customers like yours. Finding aligned boutiques and retailers that are already looking for your product changes everything. And then day 3, we actually craft your pitch. And here's what I want you to hear. The pitch that actually gets replies is so much shorter than what we have written in the past. It's only 3 lines. And I'm going to teach you exactly what to include so that retailers will reply. And then on day 4, we're going to cover the part of wholesale that most makers just completely overlook. And this is actually where 80% of wholesale accounts are won, not in the first pitch, but what happens after. And so I'm going to walk you through my follow-up sequence that turns silence into a yes. And I'm going to tell you how to respond, how to reply for every scenario. And then on day 5, we build your wholesale habit. This is really where we craft your engine that keeps your pipeline running, because landing your first accounts is one thing, but building a wholesale business that compounds over time is another. And so you are going to leave with a weekly outreach rhythm so that the next week looks different from your current week, and every week after looks different still, because you know exactly how to grow your business and find boutiques and get them to say yes. So here's what I want you to understand about this challenge and what it actually does for your business. Wholesale is not a side hobby. It's not a side strategy. It's a completely different sales model. And it's one that doesn't depend on algorithms and weekly markets and constant output. It's one where a single retailer can place an order and then reorder again without you having to find a new customer every single time. My students who go through this challenge, they don't just learn how to pitch retailers. They fundamentally shift how they see their business. So they go from hoping someone finds them online to actively building retail relationships that create predictable and compounding revenue. I'll give you an example. Tay went through this challenge and said she finally felt confident and prepared. And the responses that she received from her retailers were overwhelmingly positive. And she began to build her retail business from day one. Mary said she used to be afraid of hearing no, but after the challenge, that mindset completely shifted. And that one mindset shift changed everything for her results. Lucas landed 2 new wholesale accounts before the challenge was even over, and then he continued to grow his business after. So let's talk about the investment for a second, because this is important. The Retail Ready Wholesale Challenge is only $25. Now, I could give that to you for free, but here's one thing I know: when you have skin in the game, you are more likely to take action, complete the challenge, and get the results. One wholesale account pays for this challenge many times over, and one reorder from that same retailer will change your math again. And so if you build the weekly rhythm from day 5 and work it consistently, 5 pitches a week, 52 weeks a year, the return on $25 is absolutely unlimited. And this is not a challenge where you're going to consume content and then wonder what to do with it. Every day ends with a concrete action step and a worksheet that makes each step executable before you move on to the next day. So, my friend, if wholesale has been on your list, if you've been walking past boutiques and thinking, my products belong in there on their shelves, and this is the week that you stop thinking about it and start doing something about it. The Retail Ready Wholesale Challenge is waiting for you right now. You can absolutely listen to it on the go and take action when you have time. It's all in a private podcast format. It's only $25. And you can grab your spot at retailreadychallenge.com. That's retailreadychallenge.com. Or you can also see the link in the show notes. And I am so excited to hear all of your feedback and success stories. But before we wrap, here's that mindset shift I promised you, and it's simple. Stop trying to grow one order at a time and start building a business that sells in volume. Wholesale is the path to exactly that. You don't need to be perfect. You just need a plan and the courage to take the first step. You've got this, and I am with you on this journey. All right, that's a wrap on today's episode of She Sells Differently. Friends, it would be a huge blessing to me if you would take 2 seconds to rate and subscribe to my podcast. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Until then, I'm cheering you on in your entrepreneurial journey. See you next time.